Hello everyone, I am your Bala. Welcome back to a new video. In this video, we are going to look into a summary of the book, The Warren Buffett Way. Yeah, one of the most famous and most intelligent person's way of investing. Let's go into a video. So this book has been written by Robert G.HAGSTOM, and let's go directly into the contents. And the contents start with the first chapter, a 5 Sigma event, and the second chapter, the education of Warren Buffett, the third chapter, buying a business, and the fourth chapter, the common stock purchases. The fifth chapter is the portfolio management, whereas the sixth chapter is the psychology of investing. Coming to the seventh chapter, where we learn the value of patience. The eighth and the final chapter of the book, the world's greatest investor. Yeah, so this book comprises of 8 chapters, and in this video we are going to look into a summary of the first chapter of the book, a 5 Sigma event. So in the first chapter, the first topic, a 5 Sigma event, the world's greatest investor, Warren Buffett. On June 26, 2006, he reached his own will, where he has divided his portfolio into two different groups. One is 6 billion and another is 30 billion. So he reached a will of 36 billion. And in India, mostly we talk in lakhs and crores. So to those who are wondering how much a billion is, 1 billion equal to 100 crores. Exactly. That's how it is. So the first part of a will, 6 billion, is being divided into different persons. Like first his daughter Sue, second comes his eldest son Howard, and third comes his second son Peter, and fourth to a representative of his late wife's charitable foundation. Yeah, the 6 billion is being divided into these 4 persons, while the 30 billion was being given to the wife of the only man on the planet who was richer than himself, Bill Gates. Yeah, the Bill and the Melinda Gates Foundation. He has donated 30 billion rupees, $30 billion to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Yeah, he himself have a foundation, but still he believed that Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have done a wonderful job of uplifting the most of the people around the world. So that has been donated to the Gates Foundation. So this is the first chapter, the first topic of the first chapter. Coming to a second topic, personal history and investment beginnings. Yeah, coming to his personal history and investment beginnings, Warren Buffett, in August 30, 1930, Warren Buffett was born in Omaha in Nebraska. Buffett's father Howard was a local stockbroker and banker. So he's a second generation stockbroker. In 1940, at the age of 10, Buffett announced that he was ready to buy his first shares of stock. So he took some money from him and his sister and buy some stocks. In 1941, unfortunately, whatever he bought, it has decreased its value. So he has to sell with a loss. But Buffett had already learned one of the most important lessons in investing, which is the patience. Because after he sold the stocks, it has again moved to a very higher price. So he understands patience is a very important thing in investing. In 1942, his father was elected to the US Congress and moved to his family to Washington. So in 1943, at 13 years of age, Warren Buffett gave Washington another chance of his career. With no friendly brokerage firms to hang out in, gradually Buffett's interest moved away from stock market and towards entrepreneurial ventures. At the age of 13, he was working 2 paper routes, delivering the Washington Post and Washington Times Herald. And in 1947 to 49, he enrolled in University of Pennsylvania Wharton School of Business and Finance and completed his education. And he was graduated from the University of Nebraska in 1950. In 1952, Buffett asked Graham, one of his teachers, for his job, but was turned down as the firm preferred to fill the slots with Jewish analysts. So unfortunately, Buffett had to go back to his hometown Omega, But in 1954, Graham called with good news. The religious barrier had been lifted and there was a seat at Graham Newsman. So right away, Warren Buffett packed his things and went back to Graham Newsman. But in 1956, Graham decided to retire at the age of 61. Once again, Buffett returned to Omega, his hometown, and started a limited investment partnership there. So this comprises of his personal history and investment beginnings. The next topic is the Buffett partnership. So Buffett partnership. In the year 1957, Buffett partnership began with 7 limited partners. And in the year 1961, Dow was up 75%. The partnership gained 251%. 181% of the limited partners. Buffett was beating the Dow not by a promised 10 percentage points but by an average of 35. Exactly. While starting the partnership, Buffett promised his partners that our investment will be chosen on the basis of value, not popularity. And the partnership will attempt to reduce permanent capital loss. At the beginning of the partnership, Buffett had set a goal of outperforming the Dow index, which is the index of the American Stock Exchange, by 10 percentage points each year. And in 1965, he began buying shares in an Ireland, New England's textile company called Berkshire Hathaway. And in 1965, he had almost control of the business. By the end of 1966, the partnership had gained 1156%, blistering the Dow, which was 123% over the same period. He is clearly beating the index of the American Stock Exchange. And in 1969, however, Buffett decided to end the investment partnership. He found the market highly speculative and worthwhile, values increasing scarce. So this comprises of the Buffett partnership. The next topic is Berkshire Hathaway. Exactly, Buffett's company. So coming to the history of Berkshire Hathaway, the original company Berkshire Cotton Manufacturing was incorporated in 1889. 40 years later, Berkshire combined operations with several other textile mills, resulting in one of the New England's largest industrial companies. In 1955, Berkshire merged Hathaway Manufacturing and the name was subsequently changed to Berkshire Hathaway. Unfortunately, the years following the merger was not good. In less than 10 years, stockholders' equity dropped by half and losses from operations exceeded $10 million. So results were disappointing. Returns on equity struggled to reach double digits. In 1970, shareholders of Berkshire Hathaway began to question the wisdom of retaining an investment in textiles. Buffett made no attempt to hide the difficulties on several occasions and explained the thinking. In the 1980s, Buffett was coming to grips with certain realities. First, the very nature of textile business made high returns on equity probable. Textiles are commodities, and commodities by definition have a difficult time distinguishing their products from those of the competitors. And in 1985 July, Buffett closed the books on textile group, thus ending a business that had begun some 100 years earlier. Despite the misfortunes that of the textile group, the experience was not complete failure. First, Buffett learned a valuable lesson about corporate turnarounds. They seldom succeed. Second, the textile group did generate enough capital in the early years to buy an insurance company, and that is much a brighter story. So everyone thought it is ended, but it is just the beginning. So next comes the insurance operations. So coming to insurance operations, in March 1967, Berkshire Hathaway purchased $8.6 million and an outstanding stock of 2 insurance companies headquartered in Omega. It was the beginning of Berkshire Hathaway's phenomenal success story. Insurance policies are standardized and can be copied by anyone. There are no trademarks, patents, advantages in location or raw materials, that distinguish one from another. It is easy to get licensed and insurance rates are open. Often the most distinguishable attitude of an insurance company is the it's personal who sells the insurance. The efforts of individual managers have an enormous impact on an insurance company's performance. Exactly. And over the years, Buffett has added several insurance companies to his Berkshire Insurance Group, but he quoted without question his smartest acquisition was a person. So it's eager to know who is the person, right? We all know Buffett, but no one knows this person. He is nothing but he is Ajit Jain, an Indian origin, an Indian born person in 1951. He completed his engineering degree at a prestigious Indian Institute of Technology (IIT) and enrolled at Harvard to gain a business degree. He was hired to run the Berkshire Hathaway's reinsurance, build the reinsurance group float, the premiums earned but losses not paid, to 34 billion bought by Buffett 20 years back. Warren Buffett quoted, "If himself, Charlie, and Ajit are ever in a sinking boat, then you can only save one of us. Then just go and save Ajit." That's how much importance Ajit has holding in the firm. Not a day goes by without Buffett and Ajit having a conversation. So I hope you get an idea how important Ajit to his firm and to Warren Buffett. And the next topic is a man and his company. Yeah. So Warren Buffett, the man, he's a simple, straightforward, forthright and honest man. He is considered as a genius, yet he has a down-to-earth relationship with people. He embraces the simple and avoids the complicated. This is one of the best quality. And he believes that people who own stock in Berkshire Hathaway are the owners of the company. And he tells them as much as about the company as he would like to be told if he were in their shoes. He thinks in point of the investors. That's why he has grown to such an extent. And his company is just the embodiment of his personality and his business philosophy and his own unique style. It is divided into three major groups: the insurance operations, its regulated capital intensive business, services and retailing operations, with product ranging from lollipops to jet airplanes. There are a variety of products, and it returns as outperformed S&P index, which is one of the other indexes in American stock exchange, by 10% almost for 5 decades. Astonishing, right? Yeah. So next comes the 5 Sigma event. And 5 Sigma event, people always talk about efficient market theory, which suggests that analyzing stock is a waste of time because all available information is already reflected in current prices. Yet the success of some individuals who continuously beat the index, most notably Warren Buffett, suggests that the efficient market theory is flawed, because if it is right, then of course there is no point of analyzing stocks and Warren Buffett company will not be such a huge company. But still, rather they say individuals like Warren Buffett are 5 Sigma event, that statistical phenomenon so rare that it practically never happens. Yeah, they say Warren Buffett is a 5 Sigma event. No one has, because there's a reason for it, right? Because no one has ever come close to repeating his investment performance even for a decade. Now automatically there comes a question: is the stock market indeed inaccessible, or is it the question of the methods used by most investors? So hope you have learned, yes, 5 Sigma event, the world's greatest investor, from this video. If so, then it would be kind of you to hit a like button and show your love, and subscribe to our channel so that you can able to watch the summary of the next chapter, which deals with education of Warren Buffett. Until then, it's a bye from Bala. Keep learning and keep earning.